believe it's already here?
The second annual tweet.
Wow, look at that crowd.
Listen to that crowd.
Wow, I think it's gonna be a good night.
The best night.
What do you think's gonna win a tweet?
Not you. Not all those people.
How many people, Louis? How many boys? How many people will it?
I really want this tweet. What would be so sweet? Now onward with the tweet. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Let's put our hands together for the Joseph Case High School Dance Company under the direction of Neil Geronimo. Weren't they awesome? My friends, welcome to Joseph Case High School. Well, this culminates a year-long commitment to innovation. And tonight, I'm proud to present to you some of the most creative minds, not only in Swansea, in Massachusetts, but in all of North America, in terms of students who are committed to artistic growth here. So, let's go on with the show now.
Sam, they're after me.
Who is?
Here, take this.
Wait, what is this for? Wait.
Good day.
Okay, before we do the Lewis diagram, is this correct? Eli. Step outside with me for a minute, please.
to apologize for my immaturity and momentary lapse in judgment. It won't happen again.
Okay. Take your seat, Elijah. Thank you.
What gives, man?
Pay attention. You gotta be more mature. You don't want to be here a second year.
They're after me.
We're going to be late. We're so irresponsible.
Because of your tomfoolery. You should be ashamed of yourself. Bring everything down and get back there.
Luke, who were you running from before?
All I know is that I was running in the hallways. Juvenile. It won't happen again. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna be late for class.
Anyone give me anything useful?
Just in case you forgot.
He's dead? What am I supposed to do now? I can't do this by myself.
The wise old man will always be with you.
You're the wise old man. You're glowing, like one of those dead Jedis.
What? I'm dead? Damn it! I knew I shouldn't have given that caustic kid my age ray.
Age ray?
Yeah, and look, they didn't even put the fact that I was in Vietnam in my obituary.
What age ray?
My age ray. It helps keep me young. It can make you mature, older, younger. Well, I've even used it on Mr. Fontaine to try to make him into a better teacher.
It makes sense now. But what happened to Brandon Costa and the age ray?
and gentlemen, welcome to the second annual edition of The Tweets. Now, can you believe it? It's already been one whole year since the first event, and Brendan Costa still hasn't grown one single facial hair. No, I truly don't know why the school keeps giving me a live microphone, but let's have it. I am here today to present to you the award for Best Documentary. Now, let me tell you, this tweet means everything to me. It means the world, because at the start of this senior year, I truly only had one goal, one thing I wanted to happen before I graduated more than anything. I wanted to succeed on the biggest event of Case High school year. I wanted to be Mr. Joseph freaking Case. And everything was going as planned. I had that audience in stitches. And then Andrew Magical Baptista comes up here, shoves a plastic needle up his sleeve, and all of a sudden I'm like Nick Bello or something. But that's beyond me. So I said, let's move on to something else. What other event of the school year could be bigger than Mr. Joseph Case? I needed to lead Case Theater to a state championship victory in Boston. And everything was going as planned. We did victory after victory, acting award after acting award, and then we got to Boston. And the last time a judge hated my performance that much, their name was Senora Pereira. No shade here, people. So I needed one last victory. Well, I hadn't had one yet, but I needed one at least. So I said, I needed to win a tweet. But not just any tweet. Oh, no. I needed this tweet. I needed my documentary to shine brighter than Mr. T's bald head at sunrise. I needed it. So I wrote the perfect script. I directed the perfect film. I acted the best performance I've ever done. I spilt blood, sweat, tears in this school to create the greatest documentary that Joseph Case Media has ever seen in its life! But then I didn't even get nominated, so it is my honor to present to you the best documentary of 2018.
I think I first realized she was a star. The first time, she was 2 years old, and I was coming out of the bathroom, and I heard the voice of an angel. It made me cry.
September 6th, 1999. The moment that girl popped out of the womb, I knew it.
My sister is one of those people who is just fantastic, doesn't need to put much effort into anything, and she just does phenomenal in it no matter what. And then there's my brother and I, who are always just in the shadow, just doing our own thing.
I remember a couple Christmases getting rolls of toilet paper in my stocking, and actually as I got older, it turned into just the tubes, the cardboard tubes inside.
Absolutely not. I am never jealous that she is a star. I like being shut in. If I had it my way, I would prefer to sit by myself with a few cats, drink some hot tea, and spend the night like that.
I just try my hardest to improve, to get better than my sister, because she's fantastic at almost everything you can name.
Well, I mean, her first major role was in The Sound of Music. She was selected to play Gretel. Of course she was. I mean, she was only 6 years old in kindergarten, and that had not been done in a long time where they actually chose a 6-year-old to play that part. But I mean, she just had it, so you can't deny it.
Has dating a star benefited me in a positive way?
I just try to get better at something every day, so then my family can call me the favorite.
We taught her to dance, to twirl, to leap, to jump, with grace, of course.
I am jealous of her stardom.
Her Her father may try to tell you that she gets it all from him, but
because she gets all of this raw talent from me, I know what a performer needs.
I remember when I got to high school, for the first year almost, I actually didn't have a name.
To stay healthy.
I was referred to as Julie Lauren's brother.
I'm just gonna say it, my brother sucks.
Hydrated.
Describe my star girlfriend in one word: frantic.
And happy.
And then there's my sister, who is perfect at anything you can name.
I've heard opera singers sing like that before, and I knew right away. That because of that voice. She was a star.
Like water polo, fantastic.
All I had to do was just mention her very name.
Javelin, fantastic. And these are just Olympic sports.
she had the lungs, she had the looks, she was perfect.
Sometimes I actually have dreams about how much I want to be like my sister. I like have long flowing hair. It's great.
Everybody knew. She was the one. Okay, I'm done then.
Personally, I believe that veganism is when you just eat celery like all day. And that's it.
To me, veganism is not so much what food you eat, but I think as if it's a group of people that just don't enjoy life and just like to like torture themselves with just eating grass and other things that don't taste good, just to be healthy. But it's not worth it.
I think that veganism is basically grass. Grass basically makes up everything you eat because everything is green. Grass is green.
I think vegans eat like leaves in the fall, cucumbers, maybe some lettuce, mostly things that are green, marijuana.
With grass comes like carrots, like all the healthy stuff that basically doesn't taste good. I mean, I don't know if you can eat potatoes. Potatoes are good. You can eat corn, but those are basically the only two things that I could say that I would actually eat.
My personal opinion towards vegans is that they're just stupid. Why would you want to just eat celery all day?
Vegans are kind of like a waste of time. They take up extra space. They really shouldn't be there, to be honest with you. It's just true. Like, who would ever want to live a life like that?
I get my protein from hamburgers, pasta, all those good things, you know what I'm saying?
I get my protein from basically meat, hamburgers, steak. Steak's really good. I know you can't eat that. Sorry for you.
Besides like the regulars like hamburgers and hot dogs, I like to eat like steak a lot basically every time I go out to eat.
I would say my go-to restaurants are Outback Steakhouse, not your average Joe's, places where you can get like pizza with meat on it or steak with meat. You might be able to have carrots to fix your little needs.
My go-to restaurant, maybe Panera, because they have good mac and cheese there.
My go-to restaurant would probably be Longhorn, just so I can get steak, fillets.
Don't become a vegan because it's just a ruining lifestyle. You are held to these little tiny like things that you can do, and it just sucks.
Vegans suck. Thank you.
It's finally the time I say it, but I think vegans are the reason for global warming. I think they're the reason for all the stuff that's happening and the shift in the tectonic plates. I just can't deal with it anymore. God!
Why are you showing me this? How do people do this?
Get this off the screen, this is actually sick.
I don't want to watch that.
Attention engines 4, 1, 2, 3, ladder 1, battalion 1. Respond to the station on Coeset Avenue for report of a fire. It's engines 4, 1, 2, 3, ladder 1, battalion 1. Respond to the station on Coeset Avenue for report of a fire. Police are on scene reporting this fire at this time, 2310.
Good evening. A massive fire at an American nightclub packed with young music fans has left at least 85 people dead.
Chaos. A lot of commotion. I remember right where I was when you started hearing this commotion on the radio.
Especially in the station nightclub fire. And I know there are several people, and I've known them where they lost actually their children in that station nightclub fire. That's always a concern. And if you notice that most of those historic fires you have on there, major changes in the fire service came about as a result of these tragedies.
You know, again, that station nightclub fire was a catalyst for a lot of changes in Massachusetts to their fire codes as far as sprinkler systems and training for employees and construction. And it's unfortunate that, you know, we have to learn from our mistakes or our large lost fires, but that's happened since the 1800s.
The station nightclub fire, where we had a building that the occupancy was rated for a certain rating, but if they were to find a loophole where they could move tables and chairs, they could increase the occupancy. So you had more people in there that needed to be.
Battalion 1. Battalion 1, I have a report of a female trapped in the female bathroom there also.
They didn't want people getting in without paying, so what they did is they created a sort of a pinch point at the entrance where they had a ticket booth where only one person could enter at a time. But when you find out, when you go to leave, only one person could leave at a time also. People who are not familiar with the surroundings would leave where they came in. They wouldn't look for alternate exits. There were a lot of exits that weren't used. There's some exits that were blocked. Staff that wasn't trained. You had a bouncer that was at the band door, the band area, that refused to allow patrons to exit through that exit, blocked that exit, saying that's for the band only, and turned people around and sent them back out through the front. The placement of foam on the ceiling and on the walls for sound deadening. That is a product that was not designed for that. It wasn't tested. UL tested and approved for that. It was for packing crate foam. So the flammability rating wasn't very high, and there was a tremendous amount of flame spread. Tremendous amount of production of smoke for visibility.
Right. We're stopped by a bouncer who told us the door was for the band only, that it was club policy. Boy, I wish a lot of employees followed their policies. This guy really stuck to it. My entire world would be different had he not. I'm not sure what he was thinking. I don't know what he saw. But he decided he was going to play the big bouncer role and listen to his employer. When I tried to turn around to find him, he was completely gone in a sea of people that were on fire. Their heads were burning. What I now call black rain coming down from the ceiling. It was melting and it was black and toxic.
You couple that with low lights, loud music from the band, and people who are intoxicated, and that's where you put all these things together. Once people realize that now there's a problem, they're disorientated, they're scrambling, they can't move because they're too packed, and we end up having a station nightclub fire. That's why it's imperative that to save lives, get these people out of the structure, and also to suppress or keep it in check with the use of sprinklers.
Also in the station nightclub fire, there's an emphasis in our department on fire prevention now. I mean, this is the goal, to prevent fires before they happen and have the suppression forces to put the fires out in a hurry.
People are running out on fire. It's probably the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. We have no idea where some of our friends are still.
Well, you got
a club owner, first of all, that installs this flammable foam on the ceiling knows it's flammable because one of them did a report on the news about the flammability of this particular foam. He installs it in the ceilings, okay? The fire marshal comes in, checks, okays the club for business. That would have never passed. I mean, fire departments, they always do a burn test on materials that adhere to a wall. That's the law. But in Rhode Island, you can't indict a public official for being negligent. So here's a club owners that the back door of the club, they were getting noise complaints, okay? So what they did is they installed a second door. And when you pushed on the emergency door, it wouldn't open. You had to pull it in. And what they would do for inspections, they would take it off, and so the door would open properly. And then when the inspector left, they'd put the door back on. So here you had 100 or so people in this hallway trying to push on this door that wouldn't open.
I was a former chief of art. He was chief of the Somerset Fire Department for 20 years. When they had put out a call for help, you know, he being a chief, he had gone to the Worcester fire that they had at the cold storage warehouse, and he went down to see what he could do, and if he could assist with kind of allowing our resources to go there if needed. Turns out that our resources weren't needed. He was put into the Emergency Medical Services Operations Command, and his job was to get ambulances there. He ended up getting 30 ambulances there, but they really didn't have enough people to transport because a lot of them had died on the scene.
Go ahead, Battalion 1.
Yeah, I'm going to need multiple rescues here. We're going to have to set up staging for rescue. We have multiple people injured here. Also, I am meeting at the command post, side 1.
Hold on 1 second. Battalion 1, who would you like to meet you at the command post?
Watch Battalion Chief.
And after. It's a collapsible top hat. Just a minute now, I gotta change this to over this here and like this. Yeah, okay. Oh, you haven't met Bolivar, my dog, yet. Can we bring him? Yeah? Is this high enough to hold him? To get in? Goya, you can keep beating us. This thing here isn't working very good. Well, that is interesting.
Maybe check the camera. Looking good. All right.
What's the next? We're not rolling right now. I am Sir Charles. I live in a big house in Fall River, and I have a 1928 Model A Ford four-door convertible, and I love it. I got the car in 2005. My son found it for me in New York State. I paid $6,313 for it. And since then I have put in definitely put in more than that. When I go to car shows, I have got a magnet in my car because the guy that parks next to me with a nice new shiny car doesn't get the attention that my old ratty car gets because I have a bunch of extra garbage or whatever you want to call it on it, which is attention getting. Yeah, I have a fun with the people that come to the car shows because they'll come up and start chit-chatting and all that, and then if they get closer than 1 foot, I say, oh, hold it there. You owe me a nickel because you got too close to the car, or for a dime, you can actually touch it. Let me tell you, we have put some miles on this car. I put on an average of 2,500 miles a year on this old vehicle. I can go 60 miles an hour, top speed. I choose not to. Going up to upstate New York I have gone to Conway, New Hampshire. I have gone to New Jersey. I don't remember the name of the town. It doesn't matter. We've been to Connecticut, Mystic, Connecticut. Like when you have a beer, you get kind of like a little buzz on. When I get behind the wheel, I just feel happy. We've been to Cape Cod. Next question. And I actually have had girls stop and talk to me about my car, which is very unusual. Okay, because this is a guy's car club, meaning in other words, guys do this, they build them, they fix them, they talk about them, but somehow I got a magnet chick. That car just kind of attracts them, and it's kind of interesting to chit chat with them. This is him. He is well worn. He's got cancer on the legs here. His name is Bolivar Snagnowski, spelled with 2 snags. He's been just loved to death, and I think that he is very sweet. Him and I are pals. He has one problem, and that is he likes to piss on the tires all the time. My first Model A was when I first got my wife, which was about 58 years ago. I saw an ad in the paper for a Model A Ford. I didn't know nothing about it. I went out and bought it. $125. I was making pretty good money back at that time. I was a carpenter. Very interesting. And from there my interest grew. I had at one time 6 Model A's in our yard where we lived, and my wife Gloria, she could look out each window in the house and see a different car. I get a beep beep, 2 of them is fine. If I get something like honk, that means get out of the way. I'm annoying them. Let me think of a good word. Very ambidextrous. Or honk, I'm going too slow. But I've got that all figured out. Everybody's happy when they go beep beep. My arthritis is kicking up a little bit too. I need a drink of water. I have to go to the bathroom. I don't know. I think that that's about enough information that I want to share with you, and I'm going. Good day. Top of the evening to you. Oh, I forgot one more hat. You take this and you put it underneath. When you collapse it like that, you put it under your armpit and you go. That's it. Get out of here. I'm done. You people owe me $13.15 and pay it no check. Bye.
And the tweet for Best Documentary of 2018 goes to The Station by Tyler Parkett.
Hi.
I'm Julia Morin. It's funny. I didn't win, so I'm just going to announce I'm going to present the nominees for Best Narrative Film. Enjoy.
Hey, where have you been?
Why don't you mind your own business? Wait a minute. Don't you dare hit me in the head. You know I'm not normal.
See that?
Yeah.
Good. So start filing or I'll tear your tonsils out.
You know, we ought to get a secretary.
Secretary.
I'll keep secrets.
Hey, it's 1 o'clock. We got the rest of the day off.
Boy!
First thing I'm gonna do is run down and get a hamburger.
Why didn't you come with me to lunch then?
Quiet. I'm gonna brush my teeth.
I'm gonna change my socks. What an experience.
Sure, take it down. What's it say? Why, you. Come on, let's go.
Are you the detectives?
Are we the detectives?
Are we? 19 detectives. We'll sit from final ground for you at your service.
Gentlemen.
Who came in?
Please, I need service.
Service!
Please, take a seat.
Now, are you married or happy? I myself am happy. Back in school, I was...
Hey, where did you go to school?
Oxford.
Yeah, well, you should have gone to high shoe.
My store's been robbed.
The Cardinal's Nest?
The one and only.
No.
I need your help. Find the thief, and I'll reward you $500.
$500?
$500? That's close to $1 million.
Quiet. We'll find him. You have our word.
Hello? Yes? 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 No. No.
Who was it?
Wrong number.
Come on.
Well, this is the place.
Well, being there's only a place around the place, I'm gonna go see the place. I reckon. Yeah.
Shut up. It's locked.
We can blast.
Good idea. Get the dynamite.
You forgot the dynamite.
If we gotta forget something, we're not detectives. Use your head. Well, I didn't find a single clue.
I didn't even find a married one.
Quiet. We gotta think.
Hey, Joe, I was thinking.
Quiet.
Oh, the perm, babe.
Let's see your hands.
Let's see the list of registration. Oh. Wait a minute. See that? Kenyon? Oh, someone told you yet? Seriously, right, Kenyon? Oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Why, you?
To the Batmobile. Let's go.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Rough glass, Batman?
No.
Bruce, why do you keep pretending to be Batman?
What are you talking about? I am Batman. How'd you figure out my secret identity?
You were in the school spelling bee. They even asked to spell your name.
B-R-U-C-E-W-A-Y-N-E. Bruce Wayne.
If you're really Batman, then where's your Batmobile?
Sold it. Gas mileage.
Alright, if you're really Batman, then how do you explain this?
It's a good picture.
Alright, just admit it. You're not really Batman.
You know what, Robin? I don't like your attitude.
Hey dude, have you seen that Batman kid?
Who hasn't heard of him? That guy's crazy.
I know. Did you see? He threw a batarang at a teacher.
It could have been worse than the time he barrel rolled out of the classroom.
Did you even see him running down the hallway with his phone on shouting?
I am the world's greatest detective.
Oh my god, dude.
No way, bro.
What?
Alright,
guys, watch this.
Really?
Ready?
No.
No
way.
Look.
Hey, so what happened with you and Batman yesterday?
Batman? That kid really thinks he's Batman.
Are you kidding me?
What a loser.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Oh my god.
No way, bro. Batman. This kid really thinks he's Batman. What a loser.
No school today, so just stay home and play in home.
What the hell was that? Whatever. Without me, this whole thing will blow over in a day.
Good morning, JCHS High School. Quick announcement.
Mr. McCann is currently in New York for his appearance on The Tonight Show, so I'll be reading the entirety of today's announcements. So with that being said, everybody please rise for our Pledge of Allegiance.
Hey there, kids, the super's calling no school. 'Cause all that snow, you see the roads are bad and the driving's cruel. 'Cause all that snow.
Ah, finally my happy place. Back when I was Mr. Kids. No, no, not in here! Not in my bathroom! Oh, thank God. Mr. Geronimo, it's so great to see that you're not listening to that stupid video.
This is a safe place. We're not listening to that here.
So what are we doing?
Oh, I'm about to teach a dance combination. To all that...
No, no, no. Neil, no!
Jazz. Who's Neil?
Men, thank you for coming here on such short notice. I've gathered you all here because I need a team of experts. Experts that were left out. Experts that will do what's right, not just for this town, but for the whole world. Experts that will be able to eliminate all that damn snow for good. Wait, what are we doing? All that snow. Dude, I just said it like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, I love all that snow.
Enough! We meet back here in 24 hours, boys. And it's on! Danny, what's wrong?
There's no school today, so just stay home.
Dan, no. What the hell was that? They brainwashed him, man. They're coming for us. We're next.
Matthew Macy to the main office, please.
Nate, is that you?
Guys, it's a trap. They're coming for you. Ah!
I gotta go in, man. I gotta sacrifice myself for the greater good. This is on you now. Tell your mom I always loved her. This is on me now. I did it!
Andrew Baptista to the main office, please.
Thank God, it's just a dream. What's this? Huh. No school. No. No. No, 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 no.
And the tweet goes to Brandon Tavares and Robbie Smith, 2 nuts in a nest.
The 2017 and 2018 school year has been one of tremendous progress for our media program.
Interviews, promotions, narratives, a now famous, unfortunately, snow cancellation video. We did it all.
Students have developed hours upon hours of content that is now being viewed regularly on our JCHS High School Media YouTube channel and Swansea Cable Access.
Here's a segment that honors the student work that didn't, thank you, microphone, that didn't quite make it into our show. But if you would like, you can watch all of it after the show on our channel. Let's take a look.
Senior Holly Ann Faria completed 2 more short films this year as follow-ups to her Senior Holly Ann Faria completed 2 more short films this year as follow-ups to her previous Tweed-nominated film, Hidden. The eerie films that explore mortality and life choices are shining examples of Case Media students' work. Senior Brandon Hayter is continuing his work on a documentary he began in October of this year. The film explores the challenges that surround volunteer firefighters and their families. When completed next month, it will be available for viewing on YouTube and Swansea Public Access. Senior Miranda Mello began working on a documentary project this September based on her aunt, a survivor of a car accident, and her reunion with the firefighter who saved her life in the aftermath. The short documentary is powerful and can be seen on our YouTube channel as well. Our multi-talented senior, Eli Geldard, released his first album, Rolling Stone, on iTunes and other music streaming services this year. Written and performed by Geldard and produced by Case alumni Colin Sullivan, the music has a professionalism seldom seen by students of his age. It was accompanied by the music video Goodbye, which was directed, filmed, and edited by fellow senior Haley Arnberg. Follow Elijah_Kyle on Twitter and Instagram for more of his music and movies. Our winning foreign film this year, one created by another school or organization, goes to SOT, submitted by The Collaborative 02885 in Warren, Rhode Island. As part of a weekend workshop, middle and high school students worked together to generate the short in 15 hours. The atmospheric and eerie film can be seen in its entirety on YouTube.
Alrighty, that's the first half of the show. So before we break for intermission, all right, this year I was fortunate enough to work with the Case-I Arch program, and I thought it was very appropriate for us to screen our progress so far on that film, all right? They're an amazing group of students and teachers, and I wanted to definitely include them in our show tonight. So with a bit of help and some training, these kids shot all the footage in the preview you're about to see, and it's accompanied by a voiceover from our superintendent, John Robideau, even though you will not recognize his voice in the film, who's been a great supporter of our film program and of the Arch program. So we hope you enjoy it. After this, there'll be a brief intermission, and then we'll come back for the everything that everyone's been waiting for, the big class films. Thanks.
Hey there, my name is Goose, and I'm the resident mascot of the Case-I Arch program. I'm also a Ninja Turtle with my 3 brothers in my spare time, but we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to see how awesome Case Arch is. Wait, what's that? You don't know what Case Arch is? Well, we'll have to change that right now. Follow me and I'll show you a preview of some of the cool stuff these hardworking kids do every day. Let's check it out.
Any way you can drive a bit faster?
Nah, man. Uber tracks our speed using GPS. What? They can do that? Yeah. How? Satellites, I think. Bastard. So, what's wrong? You okay?
I'm just late, that's all. This is important.
Well, maybe you should have left earlier.
I don't need another parent telling me I screwed up.
You're not mine.
Forget it.
So, all right, man. What's wrong?
Career fair. My parents are getting all on my case because they say I don't know what I want to do with my life and I need to get my act together.
Well, maybe that's what you should do.
What do you think I'm going to this career fair for, man?
No. Be an actor.
An actor?
Yeah. They're the best life. Red carpet, get to date celebrities, all that stuff.
An actor?
All those photographers are taking pictures at total center of attention. Flashing lights everywhere, a total star. Not to mention, everyone is super interested in your life because you're like dating celebrities and stuff.
What's it like dating a Kardashian?
Which one? I think you need to be more specific.
And you get all those fans that worship you. They'll be signing autographs, meeting new people, and making those faint, true casting notes. Until you get punched in the face.
Wait, what?
Until you get punched in the face.
Why would someone punch me in the face?
Look, not everyone's going to be a fan. I've met a lot of people. Some people are cool, most people suck, and some are crazy. Some people are both. Next thing you know, after your big movie premiere, you're sitting in the doctor's office, nursing some swollen eye. Maybe you even get slapped by the receptionist because you made a sexist comment that the press got a hold of. Not to mention, you know what happens to all those pictures they take? Tabloids. Next thing you know, your face is on a magazine cover and it's sporting some pretty brutal headlines. And worse, that awesome celebrity you're dating, she's gonna see it because it's all public information. And that relationship is over. Who knows? All those flashing lights have probably ruined your vision by then too.
Travis, you have glaucoma.
Or worse.
And cancer.
And the doctor probably hates you too because you made some film that exploited the medical profession and made doctors look bad. Oh, Lord. Oh, my other eye.
That sounds awful.
All right, dude. Maybe you shouldn't be an actor. I'm telling you, it's not all it's cracked up to be. And I should know, my brother's Matt Damon.
Your brother is Matt Damon?
No.
So what would you do?
Me?
No, Matt Damon.
What would Matt Damon do?
Forget it.
Look, if it was up to me, I'd be a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist?
Absolutely. They are the true modern day heroes.
A psychiatrist?
Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, you. You could be the next big thing in mental health. And think of all the people you'll help. People with stuff like PTSD.
I feel so much better. You have helped me so much deal with those horrific experiences I had in Vietnam. You are a godsend. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Patients with separation anxiety?
You made me realize how fabulous I am on my own. I don't need anyone but me. You don't touch me.
Even other psychiatrists are going to start coming to see you. You could change their entire perspective for the better.
You know what, Doctor? Maybe he really isn't that good of a president.
Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, you know, until somebody punches you in the face.
What? Why? Who's punching me now?
A patient, think about it. You think every patient you see is like happy and stable? Some are nuts, even unpredictable.
Give me a con!
And those separation anxiety ones, how do you know they won't know how to separate from you? And those intelligent whack jobs, imagine if they got inside your head.
So tell me, how does that make you feel?
I don't know. How does it make you feel? You know what? Were you even loved as a child?
Jesus, take it easy, pal. I was just giving you a for instance.
Oh, yeah. Listen, this is awful. All these jobs sound terrible.
Look, I'm sure there's something in this world you can do besides be a therapist or an actor. I mean, I don't know what, but there's got to be something. I don't know, maybe you should start with something you're good at.
Well, I'm not really good at anything.
What about school? Do you get good grades?
I guess.
What's your best class? You know, maybe you can get an occupation at that or something.
I've got a B+ in chemistry.
Chemistry?
Yeah, what's the matter with chemistry?
Okay. You have no idea. With a B+ in chemistry, maybe your teacher thinks you're useful and comes to you with an enticing proposition.
You know the business, and I know the chemistry. Maybe we could partner up.
Next thing you know, he's got you cooking in a lab out in an RV somewhere in the desert.
We will make a pure and stable product that delivers as advertised.
But this business gets you involved with some dangerous guy named like Emilio who thinks you're working for the DEA and comes after you.
Wait, isn't this the plot to Breaking Bad?
Man. Next thing you know, your corrupt teacher/business partner breaks bad, blows up Emilio with phosphine gas, and you're flipping a coin to figure out what to do with the body.
Seems the best course of action here would be chemical disincorporation.
Yeah, and you break down crying because your life is spiraled out of control and you end up in a dark corner. And a cop takes what you did personally, punches you in the face.
You know something?
What?
You guys suck at this.
At what?
I'm already late for career fair. Now I'm even further away from knowing what I want to do with my life. Every job sounds terrible.
Can I make a suggestion?
What?
I know exactly what you could do for a living.
Where to, guys? On to a positive future. Thanks, Uber.
Back in the 40s, crime was simple. Criminals had a want, detectives a need. Make a problem, fix a problem. And between criminals and detectives, there was always a respect for for the other face in the game. Crime isn't simple anymore. There's no more respect. It's personal. And this time the bad guys hit a man right where it hurts. Right in his Newtons. It had been at least a month now since they hit my desktop supply. Mixed berries were the first. Then it was strawberry. But when they lifted my original figs from my Newton box that morning, I knew someone had to put an end to the madness. What these thieves didn't know was that they'd messed with the wrong guy. This guy, Stanley Koss, Prep Time Private Eye. I had been the resident detective / teacher at little old Casey Josephine for about 10 years now. But I didn't know what I was fixing to get into until Assistant Principal Biscotti stepped into my office.
Koss, I got something for you.
Not the time, boss. My cookies just got tossed, and I'm scrambling to get them repackaged.
Cafeteria workers are complaining, missing utensils and ingredients.
So, lunch lady's missing a spatula. It's not my burger to flip.
There's cookie dough everywhere.
Cookies? Normally, I wouldn't have been too jazzed about a few food maids missing some chicken nuggets. But I had a hunch. Maybe this cafeteria business was connected to my missing Newtons. Figured it was worth a quick look. I strolled in that afternoon, finding nothing out of place. Blenders, mixers, pots and pans, all clean. Was beginning to think this cafeteria crew had their hairnets on a bit too tight. The only dirty thing in that place was the thought of not catching my Newton thief. That thought sat heavy in my gut, my Newtonless gut, until I spotted it. A lone cinnamon raisin. May not have been a Newton, but it certainly looked like my very first lead.
Found him in the freezer. Must have locked himself in. Caught him red-handed, all floured up, holding a bag of my Newtons. Or should I say, cold-handed? Once he thaws out, I'm sure he's got plenty of explaining to do.
Good work, Koss. I think we found our perpetrator. I'm sure he can use a few more detentions.
What are you running from, kid? Your cookies are already baked.
Detention. Cookies. I can't bake it anymore.
All right, that's it. You come with me.
But not now, Stan. But.
Something still stunk in the freezer. And I was beginning to think it was more than some hungry kid. My Newtons, they were still disappearing. And I was starting to feel like my Alice was getting caught in a giant rabbit hole. Thought it was about time to drop in on my guy. The one who always had an ear for what was going on in the school hallways. there was one guy in the joint who always had the skinny on everyone. It was a Bruzy.
A little birdie tells me there's a new game in town. Guy goes by the name of Sugar Man.
Man had better ears than a bat with hearing aids. Was always keen to details. Everyone else was ignoring.
This guy's so sharp he drinks a 5-hour energy drink in 4.5 hours.
Told me this new Sugar Man was a ghost. No one had ever seen his face. But that didn't mean he hadn't left a paper trail.
Hey, one of my guys found this, though. But this is the same guy that said when you come to a fork in the road, take it.
Menus. A whole bunch of them turning up. I thanked the Bruzy for his tip and went back to business.
Mr. Koss!
Good afternoon, Mr. Couric.
Curator, principal of Casey Josephine.
A good afternoon it is not, Mr. Koss. We have a problem. A big problem. A massive problem. A not fabulous problem. You see this sign?
I'm not sure telling kids they suck is the best idea, Mr. Couric.
It's supposed to say succeed. Someone has stolen my landscape printing paper. My signs won't print. This is disastrous.
Why don't you just tape two pieces of paper together and make a real sign?
I'm not so sure that's a good idea, Mr. Koss. You're the school's detective, Koss. Find the paper. Your job depends on it.
Figured with this boss losing his feathers so quick about his signs, the first place to start was the old tree killer, the copy machine. Seemed like a logical place to start to find his landscape paper. I passed Gerber on my way in. He was looking a tad pale. I told myself that if I had a million kids like he did, I'd be looking a tad pale myself. And then I got to investigating. Landscape paper. And by the looks of it, menu printing paper. I took a closer look. Another sheet, blue, handwritten copy. I knew if I found the owner of this, I'd find the Sugar Man, but it was gonna have to wait. When the bell rings at Casey Josephine, my Cinderella detective story gets put on pause, and Detective Toss turns back into regular old teacher Koss.
All right, class, today we're going to continue reading the great William S. Shakespeare. What's that, Mr. Koss? He has a middle name? Well, yes he does. You don't know him as well as I do. All right, open your books up to Act 3, Scene 2, and we'll continue with Romeo and...
Wake up, Tom. Yeah, you gotta lay off those video games, Thomas.
I had detention.
Detention? For how long? Who gave you detention?
Class, open to page 48. We're going to begin a discussion on Act 2, Scene 3 of Romeo and Juliet.
And just like that, the cookie began to crumble. All the detentions from flowered hands traced back to one guy, Albert Jebra.
You know what you get when you add 2 and 2 together, Jebra?
4?
Something dirty. And it smells like you.
Excuse me, Mr. Koss, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Detentions. Breathing too heavily. Saying sorry too many times. Sneezing in class.
I really don't know what you're talking about.
Sure. I bet you know nothing about the boss's printing paper either, huh?
It was in my mailbox. It's not even mine. I swear.
Sure. If that's what you say. Isn't that an awful large lunchbox there, Jebra? Not too discreet now, is it? Mind if I have a look-see?
I can explain.
You don't have to explain anything. The jig is up. You've been using the cafeteria to make your food, huh? And stealing all the ingredients you needed at will.
But
Giving detentions to kids to work as forced labor in your little scheme.
I didn't have a choice.
We all have a choice, Al, and you chose. A life of crime.
I didn't use kids. I just have so many kids.
Stop having kids.
I have to feed my kids.
Jebra did have a lot of kids, but they'd be eating their next meal in a foster home.
Biscotti! Here's your criminal, your cookie criminal. Mr. Sugarman himself, take him away.
I didn't do it.
You're a cookie thief, and what's worse, a Newton thief.
I got back to the office just after last period, and like standing behind a car muffler, I was exhausted. This case had taken a lot out of me. Landscape paper, cooking colleagues. Didn't have much energy for anything. Except maybe a celebratory Newton. My Newtons? Gone? Again? This time with no explanation? My thoughts spun wildly. Could I have been wrong? It wasn't possible. Was it? Then I saw the folder, and I remembered I'd overlooked one thing that tied the menu to the detentions. The handwriting. If it wasn't Jebra, who was it?
You just couldn't mind your own business, could you, Koss?
You're the Sugar Man?
Bob Sugar, Sugar Man, you're a real genius, Koss.
You framed Jebra.
Wasn't hard. After I found out he was using the kitchen, he was going to be the perfect fall guy for my cookie enterprise. Here. Have a free Newton.
You leverage those kids. They work for you. Those detentions were just a cover. You've been stealing and repackaging my Newtons.
They're called tune-ons. On this menu? Get it straight.
But why? Bob, why?
After my coffee business didn't work out, I figured this would be the perfect way to get back in the game. And back at those cafeteria wackos that ruined it for me. And now I'm profitable and unstoppable.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Oh, trust me, you won't. You just pin the crime on that math teacher that's just trying to feed his poor kids. Who's going to trust you now?
I'll go to Vice Principal Biscotti.
Go ahead. He's my best customer. Who do you think's been enforcing all my detentions? It's over, Cos. Your role as the Casey Josephine detective is baked. This is my new thing. I'm the cookie guy and no one can stop me.
Stop having kids.
Hi there. I'm Andrew Baptiste. You probably know me as the winner of Mr. Joseph Case. Well, I mean, technically, I didn't see you getting a free ticket to prom and a crown now, did I?
I didn't see you getting a fellow. Who's the real winner here?
You? My lovely assistant. Do you want to? Okay.
Now presenting the nominees for the Best Supporting Actor.
These are the nominees for Best Supporting Actor. These are the nominees for Best Supporting Actor. Ted Patine, Back to the Grind.
Detentions.
Peter Brock, The Drive.
And I know the chemistry. Maybe we could partner up.
Frank Murphy, Back to the Grind. I have to feed my kids. Larry Abruzzi, Back to the Grind.
Energy drink in 4.5 hours.
David Pasquarello, Mental Math.
Eli.
Brian McCann, The Drive and Back to the Grind.
You see this sign?
They only care about your highlights. They only care about your highlights.
And the award for Best Supporting Actor is
Brian McCann.
These are the nominees for Best Actor in the Lead Role. Joel Brown, The Drive.
You're not mine.
Stanley Koss, Back to the Grind.
All flowered up, holding a bag of my Newtons.
Braden Fanti,
The Drive.
Kardashian.
Which one? I think you need to be more specific.
Sam Boland. Mental Math. Chris Fenley. The Drive.
I was just giving you a for instance.
Right now. All we got.
I don't think I want to look at the dress again. Alright, so I'm here to present the award for Best Class Film, and just want to say that these kids never cease to amaze me, and their dedication is under such tough constraints with our schedule and everything. And we aspire here to make the best films possible, and I think they did a really great job this year. So congratulations to the winners of Best Class Film, which I need to go get the award right behind backstage. Can I call Sam Boland up here to collect it for Section 1's The Drive? As we wrap up tonight, okay, we have one more thing, a couple more things left for you, okay? First and foremost, the thank yous. Okay, can we go to that for me, please? Joe, intern Joe. Okay. That's class one, we already saw that. Okay. So, to our professional judges, all right, who took the time, it was great to have our judges be actually super objective and not have any connection with the kids or the teachers. So it was great to see the films that were chosen by professional panels as well. So we had people from as far as New York and LA contribute. So let's give them a round of applause. Our sponsors who gave selfishly to this cause, and we really need to recognize them. There's quite a few of them. Please make sure that you support their businesses, and let's give them a round of applause. Special thank you before we end the night here to our sponsor Bob Hughes, who's doing the red carpet photography out there. He's going to be taking pictures, and you can basically order all of them from him, and he's been a great supporter for us. So let's give it up. Definitely to Glenn Lopes from BP High School, who, with some sophomore students, made this a half-term project and designed our tweets this year, which are incredible. They were 3D printed. They took 40 hours to make each one, and it's really incredible. So let's give them a round of applause. Mr. Geronimo and the K-Side Theater Company for our awesome opening number. Let's give them done refreshments for us, so that I'm so glad that there's connection between the two programs here, and we hope to continue that in the future. All right. As always, thank you to the Swansea Schools administration, all right, for allowing this night to happen. We can't thank you enough. And then the last two most important ones, the K-Side staff. I work with you on a daily basis, and it never ceases to amaze me how awesome you guys are. They're such a caring, receptive group, and they've taken a lot of individual time to work on these projects. So let's give them. Obviously to the students who brought into this program and the idea that through film we can make our daydreams a reality. This is your show, your work, and I love you all for making this night happen. This is a tough part of my life. Loss with the passing of my former UMass professor and friend Jim Nate. Jim was not only a huge influence on my career, my travels, and my work with students, but a longtime student and film advocate. In fact, last year, he was not only, he actually got to watch and judge all the films in last year's showcase, so he's kind of the guy behind the scenes, all right? It brought him tremendous joy to see these kids work, and it was really awesome that he got to continue and participate in education when he was no longer able to, all right? So we now honor him this year and the years to come by giving an annual award and scholarship, a $500 scholarship, in his name to a student who exemplifies the characteristics that Jim himself had: passion, positivity, and perspective. This year, the award goes to my student, Noah Coy. Let's end the night now with the last part of our mental math series. This has been 3 years in the making. And it's awesome that we have 6 parts and almost like 45 minutes of footage. The goal was to eventually make a feature film out of it, and we hope you guys had a great time tonight. Thank you very much.
I've been looking for you for so long. Aiden Silva's out here and he thinks that he can beat you in the 40. I thought you were dead.
No, Luca just graduated me.
No!
I'm a college boy now.
That's rough.
Yeah, you have no idea. I have all these long reading assignments. There's no media club to make cool movies with. And my football team's like 2-7.
That last thing didn't change much since you left.
Watch it.
So, why are you here?
I'm on college break. I'm just reminiscing about the good old days.
It's not the good old days anymore. Case has changed. The teachers, they've been maturing all their students with their age race. I have to do something about it.
You need this.
Do you always keep a fire extinguisher in your robe?
Who doesn't?
What am I supposed to do with this?
You know when the time is right.
How am I supposed to do this by myself? I'm the only one the teachers haven't gotten yet.
Come with me. In the meantime, I'll make some calls. Come on, let's go.
tell me what's wrong. Alright, can anyone tell me what's wrong? Anyone?
Don Parmigiano, you broke my heart.
Hey guys.
Aw, guys.
Sorry for the interruption. For those students that are donating blood today.
What's your favorite restaurant? My favorite restaurant? It's all about Moe's. You know, hashtag Moe's Southwest Bar and Grill. Am I right, ladies?
You want me to go like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your role is the KCD Joe.
She's a natural.
Yeah, she is a natural. That's what we chose her.
Give me your car!
I thought we were running through fake punches.
Yeah.
Detention. Oh wait. Can we cut that?
Oh crap, we blew it.
Back, further.
There's that thing in the way.
Back.
Yeah.
Where do you buy all your clothes?
Where do I buy all my clothes? The Gap? Where else would you buy your clothes? You monkey?
Tom, are you picking up the hum from this?
Knuckles?
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, you need to tell us that.
I heard it. It's gonna be a new trap.
So, bastards. Like that?
Yeah.
Should I just mouth bastard? Should I just go?
You want to make sure you... Yeah, exactly.
I said Chipotle gets me funky. These people don't listen.
Do we all just say Action, thanks, Uber?
It's gonna be action, and then wait like a beat, and then thanks, Uber.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
Alright. Action.
Have you been sick lately?
Have I been sick lately? Do I look like I get sick? Look at this figure.
Travis!
Bastards. Like that? Okay.
No, where's the second line?
Right there! That was supposed
How about the first line?
What would you name a dog? Would I name my dog Sexy because it looks just like me?
I don't know if I'm just talking to myself and just bastards. They're like bastards.
4?
I forgot my lines.
I don't know.
Sounds
That's what the kids are saying these days.
I cannot see without my glasses, guys. That's the problem.
I like doing it on Noah's finger.
Hold that thumbs up and smile. Okay, you're gonna hold it.
I like doing it
Hold it for like 3 seconds, 3 or 4 seconds.